Hey scholars and families, it's Miss Marnon. So the first thing you might notice is that we've added this scrolling announcements banner onto our homepage in Canvas. So this is just announcements that I'll be giving in class, but also just so we can see them. And it does scroll through a couple different announcements so that I can update this as we go and as things come up. So you can see one of the important ones here is that Friday, January 15th is going to be the end of the marking period. And also one of the ones that already kind of scrolled past is that we will be doing the STAR test on Wednesday, January 13th. This scrolling announcements bar is also on my Lincoln homepage. So if you go to our Lincoln website and you go to my class page, you can see that it's also right here, as well as everything else that I've been referencing. So there's our Bitmoji room, and there's our weekly overview, some of our data wall. And right here's our fall STAR scores. So we're looking to see that our winter ones go up when we take the STAR test on Wednesday. So that's all available to you just by going to lincolnscsd.com. You can go to faculty and staff, find me, and then click my name, and it'll take you to this class page. So yeah, the two important things, we have a STAR test on Wednesday and Friday's the end of the marking period. I'm not going to take late work past Friday. So if there's anything late that your student needs to make up, they should go into grades here on Canvas and see if anything has those big red missing letters next to it from November, December, and January. So I'm going to go into modules. That's where all of our work is kept. We're on week 17. And there is a page for each day, and then you can see there's 2 assignments below each day, other than Wednesday because we just have the STAR test. I did mark here that it is the end of the marking period on Friday, and then we have extra work, and then the data wall we're working on right now, we're working on Standard 7 RP3. So I'm going to start by clicking Monday. So here's the page for Monday. So this gives all the directions for the day. These will be given in class, but there's also recorded videos if your student needs to hear the directions and see it by themselves. So we're going to be working in class notebook, unit 4, page 5, and then we're going to do practice 2 on Delta Math. So I'm going to click next, and it's going to take us to the instruction page for class notebook, unit 4, page 5. So there is a pre-recorded lesson video here, and it's also, this is through Microsoft Stream, but I also have it posted through YouTube here if something is going wrong with it. So one of the easier ways students have been getting to their class notebook is actually through Clever. So if your student is logged onto Clever, they should have Office 365 as one of their apps. I favorited it, so it's right at the top for me. And then class notebook, they're usually here. So ours would be Math 7 and then my name and their period. But they also might have ELA or math tutorial. If it's not popping right here in the recents, if they click OneNote over here on the side, it should show all of their recent notebooks. So I'm going to click this one because this is where I have all of my papers saved. The teacher copies are always under Content Library. And we're on Unit 4. And for Monday, we're working on page 5. So we're going to be able to determine what a percent of a given whole is. So we're saying what is 60% of 40, what is 15% of 40, things like that. So we're going to do these notes during our Teams meeting, and then students will have time to complete the independent practice, their exit ticket here, and then they have the directions go to Delta Math and complete practice 2. So actually in Canvas, if I hit next, it's going to take us into that assignment for the Delta Math practice 2. So there's a video here that gives students directions if they're still trying to figure out how to get to Delta Math. This is the link that will take them right to the Delta Math website if they need it. But also, if your student is having problems logging on, if they didn't make their own account, I made one for them. And I sent them the information through a Canvas inbox message. The inbox is right here on the left. If they can't figure it out, I can tell them what email they signed up with, and we can even change their password. So if there's something going wrong, they just need to send me a message or tell me in class, and we can fix it and take care of it so they can get on. Delta Math is really cool because it gives students lots of examples of things if they need it. And then it also lets them just keep trying examples until they get a certain number correct. Or even if once they get that correct, if they're like, I just need some more practice, it will allow them to do that. So for Monday, again, we're going to be in OneNote, Unit 4, page 5, complete this whole thing and then Delta Math practice 2. So again, there should be enough time in class for us to do the notes, and then we should about have 15-20 minutes to do the practice and the Delta Math practice. So I'm going to go back to modules so we can look at Tuesday. So here's the page for Tuesday. You can see we have 2 assignments. We have another class notebook page we're going to do in class, and then an independent practice here on Canvas. So for Tuesday, we're going to work with percents that are larger than 100. So what does that mean? And then we're going to do our notes about it, and then we're going to do some practice on Canvas so we can get a quick self-check and get some immediate feedback on our grades. So here is the video lesson for the class notebook page. It's Unit 4, page 6. So this one actually has some coloring at the start, so that's kind of fun. And then we just have a couple of note questions, and then there's a couple practice questions for students to try out, just trying out what does it mean, how do we work with 100% greater than 100, our exit ticket, and then even here on our exit ticket, it says go to Canvas and complete independent practice 19. So from this page, we can actually just click next, and it will take us to that independent practice 19. It's only 6 math questions plus an extra credit question. So students could get up to 7 out of 6 points on this. They can use the calculator. It's right here embedded on here. So for Wednesday, we're just doing the STAR test. So the important thing for Wednesday is students are logging on at 8:45 to go to their homeroom meeting. So when students come on to their homeroom meeting, we're going to just kind of review the STAR expectations, some strategies, answer any questions students might have about the STAR test. And then at 9 o'clock, students with their homeroom class are going to start the STAR test. So we'll be there, we'll be in an open Teams meeting in case somebody needs help or they have any questions while they're working. Students can use a calculator. So if you have a calculator like a TI-34 at home, students can use that. But here is a link to the online calculator. We use this in class a lot, so students should be familiar with how this calculator works. And it's the same calculator that I embed on all of our practices on Canvas. There is a direction video here, and here it is on YouTube if that is easier for students, so that if you need to kind of review how to log on to STAR before we even do it, you can. But we will go over that at 9 o'clock. We're going to all kind of log on together and get started at the same time. So that's it for Wednesday. Because we're doing the STAR test, I don't have any additional work. We just need to try our best. It's one of our last big assignments of the marking period since it ends on Friday. And I do put in a 100% quiz grade as long as you show growth. So even if it's just 1 point, you can get a 100% quiz grade right before the end of the marking period. For Thursday, we're going to be back in class notebook, Unit 4, page 7, and then we're going to be back on Delta Math with practice 3. So for Thursday, we're actually going to start using an equation, quantity equals percent times whole. So here is the lesson video. And here is what it looks like in class notebook. So Unit 4, page 7. We're just going to kind of go through, we're going to start identifying which 2 parts were given in a problem, and then what part is missing and how can we find that using this equation, quantity equals percent times whole. You might have heard part equals percent times whole, but since we learned on Tuesday, we can have percents that are greater than 100. Having a part that's bigger than the whole sometimes doesn't make sense. So we're going to start saying quantity instead of part. When we're done with our class notebook and our Teams meeting, we're going to go to Delta Math and do practice 3. So I'm going to click next, and here are the directions. Here is the link for Delta Math if your student needs it again. And here is again the video from, this is actually the same video from Monday, because in this video I show practice 2 and practice 3 for students. Again, if they're having any login issues, please just have them send me a message and we can figure it out. So that's it for Thursday. So Friday, last day of the marking period. Hopefully everybody stayed caught up with their work all week. And we're going to just keep working with this quantity equals percent times whole, and then we'll have this independent practice 20 in Canvas. So here's the page with all the directions for class notebook. Here's what we're going to be doing in class. So your student's going to come onto Teams. We're going to do the DIN and the notes together, and then they'll have the practice and the exit ticket that they can work on. And when they're done with that, we're going to go to Canvas and complete independent practice 20. So I click next. Here's independent practice 20. This one's 8 questions. They're not too bad. They can get 9 points because there is an extra credit question, but it should be pretty easy after this week. We've been doing a lot with percents, and we've definitely been getting a lot of practice in, so that's really good. So that is it for this week. I would make sure at the beginning of the week you click grades here on our class and see if there's anything that says missing, especially anything that has this independent practice in front. These are really big grades in our grade book. I would also make sure that I have some of these class notebook pages done. I don't go through and grade all of them. I pick like 1 or 2 a week that gets a grade, but there is feedback on all of them. So that is it for this week. I hope everybody has a good long weekend. I'll see everybody again on Tuesday, January 9th.